Hey guys, it's Del K. Birch and this is The Real Spiel. I'm on my way to the gig and holler to all my subscribers, to the earth, the wind, the fire, and the spirit brigade, the spirit brigade. Check your links. We sent a back girl on the back end sent you a little gift, and I had more, but her idea was got to give it to you in pieces. So something else is probably going to pop in for you in a week or two. And yes, to all of our spirit members and higher, we advised you. You can only see it. Nobody else can see it. It's in the community link. Post your link for your business, and I will, or Batgirl on the back end, will put you on the community page, and any little blurb that you wish, cut and paste, boom, on the community page, okay? So, you know, it's very interesting to me, the conversation I continue to have with Black America about violence. It is a very interesting conversation that I have with Black Americans about violence. And this is why. And remember, you are a unique entity. You are one of the few colonies, slave colonies, of which you do not literally run your own country. The country's not yours. Your faces are not on the money. You don't control everything about the country. You are still considered a marginalized sect of the country, right? Even though there's 44 million of you. So this is why I had this conversation with somebody. This is what sparked this sentence sparked this. I said to them, a brilliant person who I think is going to be coming on the show. I don't want to tell you yet, but we have quite an interesting setup that's coming on Friday. And I said to her, if you guys had 100 Nat Turners, 100 Nat Turners in America, Black people would run America. Just 100 Nat Turners. You don't need 1,000 of them. You don't even need 1,000,000. Just 100. And Black folks would have been running America from a very long time ago. So, her opinion, and we're going to have a debate on Friday. Her and I, brilliant woman, like absolutely brilliant. I'm gonna tell you her name later. And we're going to position the debate like this: she's going to be Martin Luther King, and I'm going to be Malcolm X. And we will debate on those two philosophical principles of Black activism. We are going to debate from the two principles of Black activism. She will be speaking from Martin, and I will be speaking from Malcolm, right? And the engagement is to figure out what should Black activism have looked like from 1863 to today. What should it have looked like? How would it have changed the narrative? Many people, and this is the conversation I have with many African Americans about race and violence and activism, is that we are outnumbered. If we do any kind of incursion, any kind of violent incursion, they're going to kill us. We're going to get killed. We're going to do what they did in Tulsa. We're going to get killed, right? And her criticism for Nat Turner was Nat Turner didn't have an escape plan. He didn't have an exit strategy. He didn't have an escape plan. So it was ill-advised, right? And my position is that, well, no, actually, Nat Turner's scenario was that he couldn't incite enough for you to run away and to join him. If everybody joined him, he would have had he might have been able to hold off. He was the Spartacus of the Black community during that time. So these conversations are very interesting because, and this is why, because there is a very popular narrative about Black on Black crime, right? And just so you know, I'm not falling into that rabbit hole. Any community that lives in close proximity to each other will commit crime against each other. So Black on Black crime is a misnomer. It is a ridiculous oxymoronic, of course, duh. Because if you live next to white people, you are and you're white, and you live in a white community, you're predominantly going to commit crimes against whites. If you live in a black community and you commit a crime, you're predominantly going to commit crimes against black people. And if you live in a community stigmatized by systemic racism, when you commit a crime, you're going to go to prison. Most of the time, you're going to get charged. Most of the time, there won't be any kind of reconciliation. And then statistically, it will demonstrate that you are the person in prison, you are the person in the penal system, and therefore it'll make it look like you are the ones committing all the crimes, right? So that's my issue with this whole black on black crime conversation. But still, if I may borrow it, if we have no issue, not just committing crimes against each other, but actually making songs about it and having a whole narrative about committing crimes against each other. If we have the scenario where we're trying to kill Biggie, trying to kill Tupac, trying to kill Takeoff, trying to kill Pop Smoke, if we're trying to kill each other all the time, we have no issue killing each other, fighting each other, rising up on each other. How is it that when I have conversations about black people about your own sufferation, most of us have this non-violent narrative, and most of us, it's like the tough guy gets really, really scared when he starts talking about fighting for his own liberation. That's an interesting thing. And again, a lot of people are like, you got to watch what you say. It looks like you're inciting violence, and I ain't afraid of that stupid talk. I'm really not afraid of that talk. I honestly, I don't understand the boogeyman that's in the mind of many black people. When you have, your compatriots walking the streets, open carrying all the time. They're walking around open carrying, right? They're the ones shooting up schools. You're not, you're not the community that's walking into mosques and synagogues with bombs strapped to your chest. You're not. But you're so very sensitive when it comes to somebody saying to you, why don't you just get up and rise up and take your stuff? Don't say that out loud. I mean, if it was the 60s, I get it. J. Edgar Hoover would have all of our phones and all of our, our cell phones, our computers, we'd all be, and even myself, maybe I'm already on that radar. But I'm not gonna not have the conversation, because the conversation is real, all right? And of course, as Christian as I am, I will not turn the other cheek for you to shoot me in the other side of my face. I'm not going to turn the other cheek for the dog to rip off the other side of my head, or for you to beat me over the head. I'm not going to turn my cheek for that. I'm going to knock you out first. I'm going to break your arm first. Okay? If we go, we going out? Well, I'm gonna take about 10 of you with me. Okay? That's what it's going to say. He took 10 with him. That's what it'll say. Here lies Reverend Brereton, father of 6, baby daddy to many. He took 10 of y'all with him. That's what it's saying about me. I don't know. But I mean, it comes a time where I think that at the very least, and this is the conversation we're having on Friday, I think black people need to get angry enough for people to say, whoa, we can't afford for these people to get mad. These Tuskegee Airmen, we can't afford for these folks to get mad. These guys that went out there and won the Second World War for us. Yes, we did. We can't afford for them to get mad. So I mean, I don't know. I want to have the conversation. Many of you are afraid of that conversation. I'm not. I'm definitely not afraid of that conversation. And I'm definitely a man of peace until you bring it to me. I will have peace until you get within arm reach. I'm peaceful until you get within arm reach of me, and then once you get within arm reach of me, I will grant peace upon you. I'll lay down some peace on you, all right. But anyway, I'm not trying to force us into this kind of militant organization of mentality. I'm saying that why does it always seem like every time we have a conversation about injustices that are truly terrible towards us, that we become pacifists. And most of y'all are not. You're not pacifists in your own community. You're not pacifists to your own children. You're not pacifists to your friends. You know, the same young lady that took Shaquilla down there and wanted to beat her up. Like, I'm sure, like, she wouldn't. Why don't you join the army? Why don't you do something? Why don't you become a guardian of your community? You got hands like that. You can kill your own sister. You can kill another black girl. You got all that smoke to kill black girls. And, you know, how come you don't have no smoke to rise up and be something special in your own community? You know, it's just interesting. It's just a very interesting thought. And if you don't like it, don't worry about it. You don't have to watch the debate. But this Friday, and sorry, every time I'm still trying to get Clarence Jones. I have some folks in the back end trying to do that, trying to make these conversations and communications. I'm not doing them myself. Most of the people who come on the show, who you see on this channel, I didn't make the connection. It was made for me. And I wait. I just wait for all these conversations to happen. And I think while I wait, and I plan while I wait. All right? So you let me know. Talk back to me. I'm definitely doing a live today, later today, with or without anybody. But I'm gonna have this conversation throughout the day. I'm gonna post this video. You're gonna tell me what you think. Why is it that the black community becomes pacifistic, becomes a pacifist community when it comes to talking about their own liberation? I'll say it again, emancipation is not freedom, because your oppressor never lets you go free. Freedom can only be taken and has only ever been taken via revolution. Don't let them fool you about Gandhi. Don't let them fool you about anything else. Black people in America are still not free. What you have does not equal freedom to any other community that they wouldn't exchange with you. If you have such freedoms, then ask Jewish people, ask the white right if they will exchange positions with you. And if they say yes, then you have freedom. Okay? And many of you have been, brainwashed into the not requiring or not wishing for affirmative action anymore. And, again, I don't know your opinions on that. I know what mine are. When you don't have boots, how can they ask you to pull yourself up by the bootstraps? Affirmative action is just basically giving you boots. That's all it's really doing. It's not pulling you up at all. It's just giving you boots and then giving you the capacity to actually facilitate that phrase, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But most of you guys don't have boots. You don't have boots. And when you don't have boots, I guess you can't kick anybody's behind. You're walking around barefoot, So economically, the black community, I think you've been tricked. You've been given certain people to look at and say, hey, look at that guy, look at that great achiever over there. And then when that person is not in the forefront, this person who has risen up because of great athletic prowess, or they got lucky, or if they got into a particular acting or guild or some scenario of entertainment, you have other people who have no talent, who are simply just being propped up by two power structures, a Jewish power structure or a white power structure, because they're speaking their language, right? They're speaking their language. And so again, all of your heroes are people controlled by your oppressor. So it looks like, wow, I want to be like them, but really that person was created so you can be passive. And voices like mine and other voices that are a little more radical, right? And am I radical? I guess I am. I'm definitely. I'm not your average cuckold Negro, right? Voices like mine are very difficult to buy, because as much as I want to work with communities, I will only work with people who are honest. Got to be honest. Has to be an honest conversation, right? So You know, I have a friend of mine says, please don't say anything too, you know, adverse. We want to make sure we can hold hands with this community. I want to hold hands with everybody. I really do. But I have to hold hands with you honestly, because my grip is strong. It's really strong. And I'll crush lies in my grip. I'll crush it. I won't let your hand go. So, that being said, let's have that conversation later. This is Del K. Brereton. It's The Real Spiel. And to those who I scare, don't be scared of me, baby. I had a young man walk up to me yesterday, and I was coaching my game. This is me. This is my closing. This is my closing sentiment. I think he was a South Asian kid, and he walked up to me and he goes, "Whoa, you're a big boy," right? Kids in high school. I said, "Young man, I'm a big man. You're a big boy." He goes, "Wow, you're like a scary dude." I said, "My friend, I'm only scary to people who have been conditioned to be afraid of men like me. Are you afraid right now?" He goes, no, I didn't mean it like that. I said, "Yeah, I know you didn't mean it like that, but the way it came out of your mouth, I'm addressing how it came out of your mouth. All right? So I'm a scary dude to people who need to be scared of me. You don't need to be scared of me. All right? You go have a good day." And you know, he's a little high school boy. I guess he was trying to be nice, or he was trying to be chatty or whatever. But I'm a kind of person, I'm going to teach you how to talk to me. I'm going to teach you how to see me, and I'm not going to let you just get away with the whole, you know, I'm not taking it as a compliment because you say I'm a big boy. I'm like 30 or 40 years older than this little kid. He's calling me a big boy. I said, "You're a big boy. I'm a man." Oh boy. Anyway, that's me, Del K. Brereton. This is The Real Spiel. Like, share, and subscribe. You should subscribe. I got a lot of stuff to say. And if you don't like what I have to say, I'm unapologetic about it. But you still want to listen. I'll talk to you later. Like, share, and subscribe. Del K. Brereton. This is The Real Spiel. And I'm